Joso, so glad you're here. Why are you so late? Autumn's already here. I'm like up and showered, so that's productive. That's productive delay, you know? Clean the kitchen. Things you're supposed to do, yeah. Oh man, I was gonna get some water. Did I? I did get some water. Sorry, I haven't taken my ADHD meds yet, so I forgot that I just did what I wanted to do. I was laughing typing it up. um, it's like, man, oh no, I kind of felt like a 5-year-old. Like this is the tone in which I sent that message. All right, it takes a few minutes to get the computer to go live, Joso. That's literally how I said it in my head. Sup, Linus? Linus is up. Good morning, buddy. All right. Yeah. Oops. There we go. But yeah, so what are you gonna do, Autumn? We all say we're gonna do stuff, and then something else comes up, right? And then I'm sure something else came up after that, and then something else. So you'll get to the things you need to do eventually, right? Um, I could, but then you'd be seeing like my dirty carpet and stuff because he's just laying there. Like I literally have like coffee stains everywhere. I'm taking the carpet out and putting flooring in that I've had for 2 years. Lola, thank you for the heart me. But like for reals, I'm gonna do it soon. And then after I get that hardwood floor in, then I'll be showing more of my floor. Well, probably not because it'll probably always be messy. So, um, Linus, come here. All right, buddy. All right. Here you go. Here's Linus. So, here's my buddy. How you doing, dude? He's 14 years old. He's a Beagle Dachshund, and he's got a lot of pain that he's dealing with. So I'm gonna put him back down so that I don't accidentally hurt him. You okay, buddy? They just wanted to see you. Okay? They just wanted to see you, bud. That's it. You can lay back down now. Can you pet that dog? You absolutely can. You absolutely can. He might be a little bit too grumpy because he's a grumpy old man, but most certainly. And get a Roomba. Yeah, I do have a Roomba, but the thing is like, how can I say this? It doesn't really matter because there's so much stuff on my floor. Uh, he, uh, it's too early for him regardless of being awake. Yeah, he's much more hyper aware when the kids are here. Like, so he feels like he has to be up and alert too if I am. But then if it's just me and him, he'll stay asleep and then come down eventually. So kids are here, so he's being defensive. He's being protective. His mood is so different when the kids are here and when they're not here too. When they're with their mom, he's like bummed. And then as soon as they come home, he's thrilled. He's playing. He's all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah. So, anyway, how's everyone doing today? I got to double check. I got to disable that police thing so that it's not so easily triggered. All right. Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Parent. Does that make me a papa? That first sip of Red Bull at 6 in the morning, so good. Alicia, how's it going? Welcome in. See, now I had him here on top of me, and I have a fan that's down here under my desk. Red Bull in the morning, yeah. I can only do caffeine prior to noon, and then I got like 3 hours sleep last night, and it's probably because I've only been getting 3 hours sleep the last few nights. And so this last night I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get like a full night's sleep. And yeah, 3 hours, then I was wide awake. So yeah. Monster. So here's the thing, I like Monster, okay, especially the sugar-free one. But Red Bull, you can drink less. It's 8 ounces, and those Monster drinks are like what, like 16 ounces usually, maybe even more. I mean, they're the tall cans, and so it's too much. Sugar-free original is so good. That's what this is. Sugar-free original. It really is good. It's not like too sweet. Do you have a Starlights on your wall, or is it a projector? It's a projector. It's one of those astronaut projectors. Yeah. So, yeah, Autumn, I realized something. I'm not as kind to other people's guests as I am my own. I just went like straight for it. And then like, even then I was like still like halfway awake, hadn't really even given anything any critical thought or anything. And then it's like just boom, right in. Usually I can mingle a little before that stuff happens, you know. How many ml is this? This is 250. And Monsters would typically be significantly more. So, I'm so okay. But yeah, I drink like 1 per month, and that's it. So yeah, and that's just it. It's like, it's not that much, but it's like 1 full Red Bull, right? And so it's like I don't have to consume as much, because really I'm not drinking it for the flavor, although the flavor is good and stuff. That's just the catalyst for the caffeine, right? And so the least I need to drink, the better, because that's the sooner I can accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, which is getting that caffeine in me and hoping that it's a day where the caffeine makes me wakey and not sleepy. You know, mostly it'll probably make me sleepy, but it can't really be any more sleepy than I already am. So very unhealthy relationship with coffee. So well, see, I'll drink like drip coffee, just plain, you know. Do I know why I'm having night sweats? So there could be multiple reasons. One of them, and probably to be the most transparent about it, is that I'm in an outpatient program for mental health, and up until like the day before I started, I had to not regularly, but kind of, I guess regularly at certain intervals, have to use green stuff because of my pain that I had. And so because the piriformis specifically, it wasn't diagnosed or anything, and it was pretty significant and pretty harsh. And the only way that I could not allow the piriformis to trigger a trauma response was to somehow find a way to numb it down, because it's like an unfortunate domino effect that can take place. It's essentially what started my whole repressed memory flashback, was this physical pain that I had. And so when I finally was able to get answers from neurologists on what everything was and everything, I was like, okay, cool. Like now there's a treatment plan and everything. So I stopped that then to move over. And it's been maybe almost a month, but part of that is detoxing off of that stuff. There's that, but then there's also, because I've been detoxing off of that, Also, I've been having a lot more night terrors, a lot more sort of triggers, that kind of stuff, you know? Um, and so, like, everything basically returned. So there could be multiple reasons, but typically it'd be one or the other would cause it. But I'm like, I have to change my sheets like every night because when I wake up, I'm drenched in sweat and completely dehydrated. Um, so yeah, it's kind of like a trade-off thing, you know. And there's lots of people that have different opinions about that stuff and everything, you know. And um, I didn't even use that stuff until I was like 42 and had that GI issue. Um, so then I was like, oh, that really helps with nausea. But then it also helped with certain pain too that traditional pain medicine wouldn't be able to target, especially if I don't know what it is. So yeah, I'm actually sleeping like a normal person. Good for you. I am not able to. My body finally reacting to educating trolls instead of making them cry. That might be part of it too. Yeah, Lola, I feel that. Um, and the thing is that like I know that that can happen with a lot of that stuff, so I'm not really too concerned about it, you know. But the thing is that there will be nights when I wake up with sweats, and then and that's it. But then there'll be nights where I have like really bad night terrors that have to do with my trauma, and then I wake up the same sweats, you know. And so it's a honestly don't know which one it is. I don't actually think it would be the green stuff because of how long it's been. Um, but when I was getting off of that, I didn't taper like because I was doing this with my doctor's, you know, my doctor knew, and so I was using some guidance also on how to taper off. But then I just decided to just stop, which then introduced all the sweats and all that stuff because I was just kind of like tired of doing that, you know. I have an appointment next Monday about my medication. I'm just not sure if the anxiety is due to the ism. Um, I mean, it may not be due to that specifically. What if it's just due to masking? Not necessarily, you know. Sherry, no. I use like I know everybody says they only use it for like medicinal and stuff. For me, that rings true. Because I didn't first until I was 42 and I had a GI issue. I lost like over 100 pounds even though I was doing that. So it was like sorely needed. None of the nausea medicines were working. And so that kept me alive for about a year. And then when I started experiencing trauma responses, I would find that it would I had this like shaking, like this motor disorder, which I found out is a functional neurological disorder. Didn't find that out until like a couple, like a month ago or something like that. But I would find that would calm my nerves and I wouldn't be shaking as much. And like I was tremoring like all the time. Okay. And so that would help with that. And the thing is that that would become very disruptive, the shaking and everything. Not only that, it was super painful. And so, yeah. And a lot of it, I feel like it's kind of like a stress reducer in a way. At least that's kind of like how I take it, right? Is a stress reducer. And so, and by that, I don't mean like, oh, I just can't deal with this. It's more like I feel my nervous system is overwhelmed. I get sharp pains. My sensory sensitivity goes off the rails, and what it does is it minimizes the physical pain that I have from my nerves. It just tones it down to where I'm not shaking as much, doing all that stuff, right? So so I did it for that, but then I developed, or I realized that there was what I thought was, you know, the body keeps the score type of trauma response, and my body was a particular pain that was, you know, made sense to me because it was like that's where I was hit as a kid. So it was like, of course, the body keeps the score. Like that pain's there. It's my, the body remembering the pain. But it wasn't that. It was actually a physical thing that I have that pinches nerves and muscles wrap around it and stuff. I don't want to get too detailed because then I'll just reveal everything about like what my trauma was. But there's a certain type of thing that causes a pain that basically was the exact same pain that I felt as a child, which caused the repressed memories. So now, whenever that pain would flare up, guess what my brain would do? It would start shooting back memories from my childhood of completely unrelated abuse, but only familiar because the pain was the exact same pain, the same exact same like sort of sensation. So me not knowing that I was experiencing what this particular thing that was happening, my brain just took it as get the hell out of there. We've been there before, like freak out, and basically triggered me into fight or flight. Which so like I had to find a way to be able to stop that domino effect, basically take a domino out so that it wouldn't boom to the next, right? And for me, it was always reducing, making sure that that pain didn't get too significant, because it always hurts. It's always like a 7 out of 10, but when it gets to 10 out of 10, like I can't stop my brain from shooting back memories. Now there's a lot of stuff I need to process, but I can't be constantly in a processing my emotion state. Like I need to be able to like be in the right place, surrounded by the right kind of people, all that kind of stuff. And so I can't let this physical ailment that I have dictate when I'm going to be processing my trauma. Was I diagnosed? I mean, if I were to go up here and say I just, got over a headache, would you ask me if I was diagnosed? It's weird. But anyway, so I had that pain, and then that basically would trigger all that. So use that. But the thing was that pain continued and continued and continued. And if I stopped and that pain again got significant, it would trigger a trauma response. And so, because my brain was like, we've felt this before, we know what this is, you're in significant amount of danger. And so by doing that, I was able to kind of maintain it until I was able to get it figured out what it is. So now I know what, basically within the same week, I discovered what that pain was, and it's being treated with medication and everything. So no reason for it for there. And then I found out what the motor, the shaking, the tremors, basically it's a non-seizure seizure. The neurologist says it's like a software issue. It's basically from trauma, kind of like what your brain, how it kind of rewires itself, and it can result in motor dysfunction. And so I got both those answers, and I was like, okay, I don't need to do this part anymore because now everything's been identified. Now it can be treated. Now, because again, it was only for medicinal purposes. But now that I stopped, that's where the night sweats and all that stuff comes in, But yeah, so it's yeah. Like the medication didn't seem to be working, so not sure to try a higher dose. Let's see. Which one are you talking about specifically? Go on risperidone, which is hard. What is the risperidone? Is that like for coming off of that stuff, or I don't know. Like I feel like I could just tough out the night sweats, because quite honestly, like I now that it's been identified, and because the thing was like it wasn't identified what that pain was. It could have been severed nerves for all I know, like damaged nerves. Thankfully it wasn't, but I had to be very, very cautious about specifically like what I was doing, and I don't want to take anything that's too complex to because doctors are trying to guess, you know. And that's after a year of GI issues, and doctors having to guess. So I kind of developed like a thing with practitioners where, you know, it sucks when you have to kind of figure stuff out yourself, and then you end up being right, and they can confirm that you're right through other testing. But then it also kind of instills this notion that they don't know as much as you think, you know. Anxiety one specifically. Well, so if you're dealing with that, I mean, it could be that you need that more, but there's also a therapy component. You got to go in 5 minutes? Okay. There's the therapy component too. So like anxiety is just a symptom, right, of something else. So sometimes, a lot of times, it could be something emotional that you need to work through. Could be something that you're stressing with that you don't realize you're stressing with. But ultimately, anxiety is just because of something else. And so if the anxiety medicine's not working, of course, that's the coping mechanism, right, is to have the anxiety. But, you know, perhaps what needs to happen is the anxiety needs to be reduced by you know, focusing on the source, you know. And I firmly do believe, and it's just my belief, again, not a doctor, not anything like that, that a generalized anxiety disorder has a root cause. You know, there is, for a lot of the times, some core reason there, even if it's something you don't know. Because anxiety is normal. Anxiety is a part of your brain. Anxiety keeps you alive. Anxiety tells you not to do things that are dangerous, or to get away from dangerous situations, or potentially dangerous situations. And so it's a response to there being something to be anxious about. The body is being anxious about something. So that's kind of like at least the way that I look at it. But you know, depending on, you might be able to increase the medication and stuff too. Yeah, and that's just it. Is like, I in a way that's so lazy for practitioners, right? To be like, oh, it's just anxiety, right? That'd be like going to a doctor for like a laceration and they just throw a band-aid on it, right? Like, no, you're not actually like treating it. Like, it's gonna get infected. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna, you know. I mean, yeah. Disorder, I mean, that the way that I look at it is disorder being like, you know, order that's no longer working properly, and definitely fits with like anxiety and stuff. And so it can create that, but still, I think what that still, there needs to be like a anxiety trigger, right? What happens once that anxiety is triggered and all that other stuff is one other thing. But yeah, I don't know. But you know, I really hope though that they're able to at least figure something out and dive a little bit deeper. But yeah, it's gotta be rough. I'm just not too sure. So you do you think you'll be able to like get more answers from them? Do you think that they're gonna do any more investigation, or do you think they're just gonna leave it at anxiety and then that's it? Do you do therapy, Anne? Julie, thank you for the heart me. Sorry I didn't notice till just now. Um, I think I was going off on my why I was using the green stuff and why, for what reason. Um, and so it was something where I'm like, I really need to finish this story and really need to talk about it before people think that I'm like, you know, recreationally putting myself into psychosis or something, you know, which, no judgment if anyone does that stuff. Everyone should be able to do whatever they want to do. For me, it's not something that I would voluntarily do to myself during this time of my life, except for the things that I had to deal with that had physical pains and, you know, outcomes that were not controlled. Oh, but yeah. I have way too many windows open. That's one of the things about when I do the cross streaming, is that so many windows get opened. Going to shakes, thinking about doing it. Go so you go into this. Are you talking about anxiety? You should see the tabs on your phone. You should send me a screenshot. um Oof. I am just not able to recover from the night sweats though. Like even right now, like my body's still producing like a lot of sweat. It's gross. So I'm gonna make the fan shoot up my shirt. Oh, oh man. That feels so good. And then I'm wearing like an extra large shirt too, so it's even more awesome. But I just don't want to have clothes touch me right now, so get the big clothes out. Let's just say I can't open new tabs because I run out of it. Well, there you go. Okay. I got you. I got you. Um, can't look for autism. So, yeah. But yeah, are you talk so then for therapy though, so then you don't have like a therapist or somebody that you can talk to? Because the thing is that a lot of times too, it can help you discover if maybe there is something psychological, there. There's my blob. Oh, you have? Yeah. um, yeah. How are the new meds feeling? You said you'd give it a few more days. I haven't taken it yet today. And see, here's the thing though. I also haven't been getting a good night's sleep like the last 4 nights. And so, yeah, it's still kind of like iffy, but a lot of it could just be that I'm exhausted and need to sleep. Um, and so I'm not really like judging the medication yet. I need to actually get some rest and see if it actually is working, because brain fog just becomes brain fog at a certain point, and sleep just gives me brain fog. Like I wouldn't be able to do it in person, as I would just freeze and I wouldn't be able to talk. Absolutely. And so I have never met in person my therapist who I've had for the last year, who I would not have been able to get through any of this stuff, or I'm sure I would have maybe, but she was a significant help, like a huge help in my life. Never met her in person, but she helped me out tremendously, and somebody who obviously I trust, significantly. And it's so much easier to do things on, when the other person isn't in the room, and so correlation with meds is right there. Oh, as far as like night sweats or um, school is slowly suffocating me. We've been learning too much too quick. Oh man, yeah. Take lots of notes. Lots of notes. Have you tried learning? Isn't that like the thing or whatever? Have you tried paying attention? But yeah. Take notes. Just try and capture as much as you can. Honey Bay, I swear I'm gonna set the thing up today. I will. I haven't unboxed it. How long is it gonna take me to set up? Like opening the box and do it. I think that's part of it, is like I'm intimidated because it's like a big box. I was talking to somebody about what you had told me, and they kind of like backed it as well. And I mean, I wasn't even saying like, hey, what do you think of this? Like, I was just talking about it, and they were like, oh yeah, that would totally work. And so I'm like, oh, okay. You're trying, but your head isn't quite on today. Blob, I get you. I get you. My head's not on quite most days, so maybe it's hereditary, right? 15 minutes? All right. But yeah, try not suffocating. Yeah. And Anne, have you tried not having anxiety? We good here. We make the things all solved here. Pick a big space and lay out everything out. I got a pretty decent space for it. Yeah, and see, look, I know it's crazy because when I found out I had ADHD and all I had to do was write stuff down. Right. Yeah. Anybody else have anything that I would like to that I could help them with? Um, anyone anyone struggling with anything? Because I do have a significant amount of experience in the things that I have experience in. And the answer to all the things that your insomnia. Have you tried sleeping? Blob, have you tried, not having a headache and seeing what would, if that's better for you? Um, I am so excited. I'm so excited about the sauna. Seriously, like, um, now I'm not excited about it because I just woke up with night sweats, but performance anxiety. I would say, have you tried not having anxiety about it and turning that anxiety into maybe performance excitement? Try that. Try changing the anxiety to excitement. Like, look at it as happy. Sleeping is a thing, yeah. So when you sleep, it's actually the opposite of having insomnia. So you just got to do the other thing. Win. Um, Say to put a sticky note on your forehead can help you focus. All right. I will see what I can do with this. All right. Nope. Didn't work. Shoot. I was so hopeful. Uh, not watch. Yeah. I don't know. I tried focusing. But you know what? Maybe I should try focusing again. If I'm having trouble focusing, then yeah, I should try. Put a sticky note to set up your sauna. There you go. See, now we are getting some good advice here on things that may actually work. Hopefully, because I really, really, really do want to do it. Um, I know the U looks like a V, but I got it. And I'm gonna put the sticky note. Ooh, this is a very good spot for it. Because I know I'm gonna have to use that later. You know how people say get a planner? Yeah. Oh, you were surprised you scored so high in that test? What was I like? I was like 39, I think, out of 50. A lot of the questions seem to be repeated, right? Or they seem to be like asking again, but from the opposite angle, you know? Um, Probably have a dozen planners and only use like 2 pages. I seriously, so like I have so many like little journal notebooks that I've gotten from different companies, different conferences and stuff. And I have like an endless supply of like journals. And I have so many of them that have 1 or 2 entries and then nothing. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start all over again. I'm gonna use a new one though because I'm committed this time. Um, no. Yeah. So suffer with executive dysfunction. Well, you just need a planner. Just get a planner. There's your executive function right there. Actually, what I would need that would really help would be an executive assistant. Get me that, and that will take care of it for me because then I could just have somebody else think for me and I can just sit around and watch movies all day or something. I don't know. But not have to worry about having to think would be great, you know. but unfortunately they would have to do the work for me. Yeah. Autumn, I'm calling me out. And it's just resonating with you. Like, can you just remember? Like, how could you forget? Just remember. That's really good advice. I appreciate you, Blob. This is why you're my favorite Blob. Try remembering. Okay, any other tips you guys have for ADHD? So I got try remembering. What else? The hyperactivity. So maybe I should just like tell my brain to stop, right? Or what should I do for the hyperactivity? Just calm down? Don't think too much? Okay, yeah, don't think too much. / calm down, probably. Don't think too much. Okay, I want to hop over now that I got a couple tips for that. Just stop losing stuff. Oh, that's a good one too. Stop losing stuff. Okay, I need to pivot over to another one that I deal with that's pretty significant. So, I have the sensory sensitivity, right? So sounds, textures, feels, all that stuff, right? What should I do about the sound sensitivity, the sound part of it? Or just overall? Is there something I can do just overall for all of it? Just don't let it bother me? Like ignore it? Or I'll give it a shot. I'm skeptical, but it has promise. Don't let sound bother you. All right. Let's see what else. Bother the sound instead. Yell back. You guys, oh my gosh. You guys are on to something. Like, I feel it in my bones that this is the answer. Yell back. Yell back. I am going to give this one a shot. I am so ready for it. So ready. Oh, wait, hold on. I think Blob is taking it to like a pretty significant level that I think really everyone should be paying attention to. Think outside the box, okay? Because these things don't have linear solutions, right? These things aren't going to work for everyone unless you can consider going deaf and blind. If you go deaf and blind, that the sensory sensitivity with visual and audio, bam, just gone. Okay, you guys I need a new post-it note because that one's filled. All right, go blind and deaf. Oh wait, yeah, blind and deaf. Perfect. Tell my system it's not nervous. Okay. Tell my nervous system to not be nervous. And I think that's the thing. It needs to just be a system, right? I don't need to be nervous about it, so I should just tell it to stop being nervous. Let's see. Her Daredevil did it first. Yeah, and look at him. Daredevil thriving, awesome, making it, keeping Hell's Kitchen safe. Like, who would not look up to somebody like that? Sometimes thinking about you in the middle of June. Oh, Theory Smasher. That's so sweet. That's about when my birthday is. So You know how they say that when people come to your mind, like there's a reason why? I believe that to be true. I do. But hope you're doing well. But yeah, but then the vibrations will take it. So what do I do about the vibrations? Problem driving, not while blind. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the cool thing. So like, um, I won't have to worry about the driving because I'm gonna go blind, and so that's gonna help because I'm not gonna be allowed to drive. You know. Um, Gaslighting is a thing too, but it's not as effective. Well, I mean, maybe it's because others are gaslighting me, right? Maybe what I should do is gaslight myself. Because maybe what I'm doing is I'm just like resisting too much, you know? I'm pushing back on it. So maybe I should just gaslight myself. Like should I give it a shot and see if that helps? Stop being so sensitive. Yeah, to the vibrations for reals. Stop being sensitive. Got it. By the way, is Hell's Kitchen an actual place? Because my brain, yeah, no, it is a place in New York City. It's like they have different neighborhoods, right? And Hell's Kitchen is one. It's like, I believe it's west of, like, I don't even know. It's not like Midtown, or it might be Midtown. I don't know. But I've been there a few times. Woohoo! The hand hearts. Wander West, thank you so much. We are trying to fix our things with some practical tips that we're trying to look at it from a different perspective. Anyway, thank you for the heart me. And so right now we got try remembering, don't think too much, stop losing stuff, don't let sound bother you, yell back at the sound. That's something I'm going to try. Maybe see if it can stop hurting me by me hurting it. Or go blind and deaf. I'm going to try that. Tell my nervous system to not be nervous, and then stop being sensitive. So we're going to cure this. You stop driving now. How is that like affecting you as far as like not being able to do that? Thank you for the rose, Angelina. I appreciate that. And the ice cream cone. I love ice cream for breakfast, so I appreciate it. So you can tell people they're just being too sensitive. Yeah, I could do that. You know that you know what? Maybe I have a future as a psychiatrist, because I mean, if I'm going to start working with other people, I definitely feel like I should, like share this information and provide, this is why it's good for us to connect, because we can share all this feedback. I never thought about trying any of these things. And so you guys are great. You guys are great. This gives me like a new lease on life. Haven't driven in 5 years. Yeah. I can't really think I mean, for me, it would just end up being expensive because I would just like Uber everywhere and stuff. But I mean, I'm sure in the long term, I would figure stuff out. But it's still like the whole idea of that, it takes away like a lot of your freedom, like not like your freedom, but your ability to engage in your freedom, right? Sell my eyes to a talking fish, blind and rich. I feel like I should put that step before go blind, because if I don't put that step before go blind, then the fish won't want to buy my eyes, right? So I'll have to put that before it. So sell eyes to a fish, a rich fish, because I have dignity, not just any fish. My eyes come at a price. Sell my eyes to a rich talking fish, which will be great for the fish because then they'll be able to speak and see. And so my pain becomes somebody else's gift. Just leave your eyes under the pillow to finally catch the two. Oh, okay. So like maybe Blob, before we go to the talking fish, I might try this. I'm gonna have to pull a tooth out, but that's okay. Or you know what? I can snag one of my kids' teeth. They got a few lying around. So like maybe I can leave, make it to the car, and drive to yoga studio, but I'm not sure. Do you yeah, I wish there was something, you know, like there that could like kind of help you out. Do you get like anxiety from driving, or like what's the reason why you're not driving? By the way, I'm compartmentalizing the type of feedback that I'm giving, Alicia, so I'm giving you actual feedback. Everything else is just indulging in societal expectations. I think we solved most of the problems. Any others? Definitely Tooth Fairy, and then Taking Rich. Don't feel stressed. I think I got that one. Let me see. I told my. Oh no! What? You're right. You're right. You're so right. I didn't even think about like my burnout and stuff. So, don't feel stressed. Okay. Don't feel stressed. Good one. Good one. Yeah, usually like I love feeling stressed, but I am going to give it up. Relax. Don't do it. Oh wait, sorry, I was going off something else. You start panic whenever you have to go somewhere. I was that way for a while after burnout, but I wasn't like agoraphobic or anything like that, which I'm not saying you are, but I don't get as much anxiety now. I think it really just depends where I'm going though. Like if I'm going to someplace that's like a social type of thing, then it makes it very, very hard. But yeah, it wouldn't be like going to like yoga or something like that too. So I don't know. I really wish that there was like some way that could help you, you know, not feel that panic, you know, when you do that, because it like stops you from being able to experience things, you know. Wander West. I can't with my family. They are unhealed and only hurt me. It's really hard, you know, because families get used to just being the same way, right? And when you the person, whoever, the person in a family that starts growing and healing, grows and heals outside of that family dynamic, it's really hard to be like kind of accepted back into the family dynamic, right? Because then it's like, you know, who's this person with all their stuff figured out? They're weird, you know. Yeah, Alicia, that I think, you know, a lot of it hopefully can be, you know, kind of like explored. Have you tried exploring it with a therapist? Scapegoat, they feel threatened. Yeah. Um, um, I get it, Josso. Uh, yeah, that's the same thing. That's just that was the honey babe. That was the thing that my family had, which was like look. It was always about how things looked. Okay. It was never about how things were. It was always about the perception. So like I got in trouble for things just because they looked a particular way. Even if they didn't believe that it really was a particular way, just because it looked a particular way. And it's such an obsession. Like the thing is like maybe it was just my parents trying to like act like they had a fully functional, well developed family, right? You know, obviously knowing that they probably screwed up because they screwed up with me. But I don't know. A lot of it is really selfish because it's more them for their egos, you know? Yeah, that picture perfect family. Yeah, what would other people think? Okay, so I don't know if I can say this word, but I can tell you a real story of what happened. So as a child, there, not a child, I would think I was like maybe 14, 15 years old. And on a website, um, you could get a contraception device for men, if that makes sense. Okay. Um, a disposable one. And I thought it would be really fun to make like the world's biggest water balloon. Okay. I thought it would be so fun. And so you could get a free one online and it would get mailed to you. Okay. And I was like, I am going to fill this sucker up so big. Okay. Spoiler alert, I eventually did. And it did get so big and it was so freaking awesome. When it came in the mail and my parents saw what it was, because they could, you could feel it. This is what my mom said. What would the postal worker think delivering it to this house, knowing that we are Christian, and did not ask, hey, son, are you, you know, do we need to have a talk? Like, are you engaging in these things? Like, let's have a discussion about, that stuff. No, it was, what would the postal worker think delivering this to this house, knowing what it is? It's like, who gives about the postal worker? Like, it's always about what things look like. And what did I do? I took it after my parents said, just get rid of this. So, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Went over to my friend's house and we filled that sucker up with water. And it was like huge. It was amazing. You were weird and embarrassing like me. I obviously was. Because, I mean, and that's the thing is like, for me, like, it was, I only had one reason, one literal reason why I got that. And it was to fill it up with water. Because my little brother is a rude little jerk, I've gotten this pressure to be the golden child. Um, yeah. Um, I wouldn't say that I was the scapegoat per se, but um, I think I was for the longest time, and then it shifted over to a different brother that I had. But by that time, my parents weren't doing the same stuff. So, um, I don't know. Um, that was weird and embarrassing. Why? 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 That's like mindfulness would tell you don't leave a legacy like that. Don't like throw a grenade right before you're gone. You should be happy you're not the only child. So much worse. There was no way I was going to be an only child. uh, the book that my parents used significantly promoted having a lot of kids, and basically forcing them to believe what you believe. Um, well, see, I was the golden child when I got a job in IT. That's when things changed. That's when my parents started like actually like being like nice towards me, right? And then they did things like they showed up on my birthday to my work, like 3 hours away, brought an ice cream cake, and it's like I felt like what they were doing was patting themselves on the back, saying, "See, he turned out okay," through their own delusion, you know. Um, and I kind of felt like they were kind of like just kind of like trying to push that idea for themselves. And then I would notice that like you know certain people that I would be around would kind of be uncomfortable with the fact that I would be talking about that my career would be discussed during a difficult time. Like it was like around 2006 when I started, 2008, 2009, when the economy was really bad. A lot of people were losing their jobs. And so I remember going to my parents and saying, hey, can you not talk about like my job and work and stuff like that, like this time around? Because I feel like it, with a lot of people, what they're going through and stuff, like it's kind of insensitive. And I just don't want you guys to bring it up. And like, they were so like, why? Like, it's so like, we like talking. And it's like, no empathy and stuff there. And so I do kind of felt like they wore my eventual ability to to earn a living, they kind of took that as their success, you know. Yeah, so always put pressure on us, rich and successful, but I didn't. I tried. I mean, I'm not like rich or successful. Well, I mean, success is, you know, kind of defined by whoever sets the goals, right? But I felt like for them, um, it it basically says to them, well, we didn't do so bad, right? Because he turned out okay. I mean, the same stuff that the psychiatrist said. You can't have ADHD. You're too successful, right? So, um, parents, you know, I was telling somebody this last night that they really should require parents to like get a license to be a parent, and they have to get tested and stuff, you know, regularly tested, because like no parent should ever tell their kid, you know, that any of this stuff, you know. And I'm the only one who hasn't been severely, yeah. Um, so I mean, that's kind of the difficult part to deal with too, is when there's not consistency across it. So I grew up in a family of 7 kids, and I was significantly punished far beyond everyone else. And but then my punishments most of the times were from ADHD stuff, forgetting things, you know, not remembering to do stuff, not paying attention, that kind of stuff. So my punishments were not for doing something wrong, but for doing, like, just existing, because that was going to happen. How? Well, when one person really likes another person, and they, you know, kind of come together in a way, and then later on, wait, down the road, um, they create these beings that they use as punching bags. So yeah, it's kind of like, you know how people like to like grow their own vegetables, grow their own, you know, fruit, and kind of, you know, live that organic lifestyle and that self-sustaining lifestyle. It's kind of like the same thing, um, but different. Island World, how's it going? Um, but yeah. Mm, grow your own emotion outlet. Yeah. My given name, Kimberly. Oh my goodness, really? Wow. Good morning, Tucker. How are you? That is, wow. I feel like, yeah. I don't even have words. I see you. I see you for reals. Um, because the thing is like I look at that and I think my parents wouldn't even do that. Like, and I know how bad they were. So like I'm seeing you, but I'm seeing you like in a I really wish I could give you a hug right now kind of way, because it's like, you know, um, I hope you're doing well too, Island World. Um, a lot of parents get children expecting that many thems, and yeah, exactly. Um, but I mean, there was some external influence as well. You know, there was some external influence from their group of people. Thank you for the rose, appreciate it. But yeah, it's I think that's the thing, is like really what happened for me though, and that's kind of why I'm like parents and like why like that kind of thing, is because for me, like I always wanted to be a dad, like and I think a lot of it may have had to do with trauma, but like my stuffed animal was my kid, you know. would tuck the kid into bed. You know, I would do all the stuff and everything. And for me, definitely a coping mechanism as a child, but I always wanted to be a dad. And it was when I had a son who was the same age as me that when I realized just how messed up my childhood was, because I realized basically, like, you have one thought, right? You go down one thing and then beforehand you start to go about another thought. You never really connect the two. And then when I finally connected the two, my childhood and then seeing my son, that's when I was like, I would never do that. How could a parent do that? You know? And that I that traumatized me, that thought, because I couldn't rationalize it. It made absolutely no sense. And the thing was like the manipulation was so deep that I truly believe that my parents did all this stuff out of love. Okay? Truly. That's how like deep the manipulation went. And I just, when I had a kid, I was like, I cannot even imagine under any circumstances ever, you know? And so that was what was hard. And so for me, it was like, I genuinely love, I do. And I just could not see love in that, you know, which then you realize, crap, my parents didn't love me, you know, at least under the definition of what love should mean, you know, not the definition of love that I was raised with. So it becomes difficult to deal with, you know, when you start to realize that stuff. But the thing that I like about my experience is that I do have a son. I have a son and a daughter. But for me, it was seeing myself, you know, seeing me, seeing a version of me to have the full context, I guess. I love both my kids and they're so amazing. They're so great. I'd do anything for them. And I love that they don't have to experience this, that I put a stop to it, that I am not going to pass this down, that instead what I'm going to be is much more intentional about what I do with them, how I raise them and how I guide them. And especially understanding the struggles that would come with not being intentional and by just kind of going with the flow, you know. Mom was cold. I'm an emotional sponge. Wander West, we are twins. We are twins. So now we got to get matching tattoos, okay? Welcome back, Joso. And seriously, the only reason why my parents ever even kind of like respected me moving forward or even after my mid-20s was because I worked in IT. That was the only thing. It was always, hey, how's work going? Whenever I would call them, hey, how's work? Not how are you? How's work? How's work? That's all it ever was. So, I mean, they may have acted a particular way, but it was very, very much contingent on me being employed, right? And not only being employed, but being employed in something that they felt was, you know, distinguishing enough. Good. I don't know what that is, but whatever brings you joy, get it. Ozzy's Legacy Wonder Kid? What are you talking about? I don't. Maybe I missed the story. Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, but I'm. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. Yes, understand now. Thank you. ADHD. Forgot what I said. Made the connection. Everyone's helping me out. Gotcha. Yep. Just had to stop it right there. Okay, I got it, guys. Got it. um, but yeah, that's cool. Um, I haven't been paying attention to what's been going on in the world. Used to love concerts. I don't know what happened. Um, Sending love and hugs back to you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to like concerts because I haven't been to one since discovering my sound sensitivity. Um, and those things were already loud for me before I had internalized it. Um, and so now I'm like, is it really going to be healthy? Good? I don't know. But just gotta wait for the right band to come around that gives me enough dopamine to then be able to, I think, tolerate whatever it would be. But I would definitely have to wear like noise canceling headphones and stuff. It's like, why am I then gonna go see a band perform and then not hear them, you know? um but yeah, so um, Autumn, that's because you got too many tabs open. Oh, oh, because of the concert. That's right. Oh, 7:10. All right. Um, Weird Al. Oh my gosh, Wander West. I didn't know Weird Al was. Now I gotta look and see like if Weird Al's gonna be coming by my neck of the woods. Like that is not fair. That's not fair. Fun fact: Weird Al grew up nearby where I live. Um, like 5 minute a town 5 minutes from my town. Um. Oh, that's right. You're from there. I've been there once. Kelsey, how's it going? Thank you for the heart me. I don't see Weird Al anywhere on the West Coast. What's going on here? Dang. Did I miss it? Did he already make it here? Why don't I pay attention to life? Bummer. Oh well. I'll just go on YouTube. Good morning. Thank you for the Go Popular as well. How are you? Achieve that live goal? You gotta get those heart me's back up. I appreciate all of you. Gorillas. No, not really. Because you have kids. I'm retired. Well, yeah, but I'm also going through a divorce, so I kind of only have them half the time, you know. But yeah. And so I could make it work in some way, you know. Don't be. It's a good thing. It's a difficult thing, but it's supposed to be difficult, right? It's supposed to be hard because it was a very big deal to be married and a very big deal to integrate our lives, but it is for good things. I'm a busy mess this week, moving house for, oh my goodness. Did you get movers? Because like I would not do it without movers like ever again. um those people like can boom 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 go, not me. I stop way too much, you know. um that's to nothing, good or bad. Yeah, yeah, I mean I can, yeah. um no movers, Kelsey. RIP. RIP in peace. That is so. And do you happen to be somewhere where it's very, very hot? because, well, I'm in Southern California, so if I were to do it right now, it'd be in like 100-degree weather and all that stuff. Which I actually did do that once, moved into a house in over 100-degree weather. And that was actually the last time I did it by myself. Going to move on and get my mind right. Leaving at noon. All right, Wander West. Thank you for coming in and all that stuff. You know, I really appreciate you. Oh, Central Florida. Good God. But Wander West, I appreciate you coming in. You know, things are a little weird today because we're building out the maladaptive solutions to solving neurodivergency. But when we're not a sarcastic bunch, you know, it's calmer and fun and nice. I just woke up in a sassy mood because there was Trolls in Autumn's live, and so then I had to, you know, say my part of that. I'm literally attached to nothing. I even got rid of everything I owned. That's great. So I'm gonna go tell my kids that I need to detach from them. Then I'll say it's the Buddhist way. Autumn, I was happy to get some frustration out. Clearly, I mean, I woke up with night sweats. Obviously, there was something I needed to deal with. But yeah, okay. So it's time for me to get my kids ready for school. It's 7:15. We're gonna have to leave in an hour, and they like to, their mornings start off a little slow too. If you don't want them, I'll take them. I know. You know what? My kids are so freaking awesome. Seriously, you know that you've seen them when they're not allowed to be on camera anymore per their mom, but you've seen them and stuff, and yeah. They start, the first bell rings at 8:40, and then the second bell that is 8:50, so you have like 10 minutes to get in. But like many schools in this area, because this area experienced like a lot of growth, this is like a town that's built up of lots of mini towns, and so lots of small things. Then they all become one town, and then we have things that are not set up for the volume of people that go there. And so we get like car lines that go like all the way down the street, of people just trying to get their kid to school. And so yeah, I had school that started at 7. Y'all talking about all the times when you had to start school and how lucky they are. You guys are so lucky that you had school. Man, I would have loved to have had school. Imagine that. Imagine being like, I wish I went to school. I wish I could go to school. Like, a lot of people would like be like, no way, right? Like, give me any day, any kind of day ever in school, and I'll take it. Anyway, that's just trauma talking. Wish you could start a little later. What do you mean? Like on the live? So here's the thing, Blob and everyone else. I'm no longer doing the IOP or the program every day. I do it 3 times a week now, starting yesterday. So on the days when I don't have therapy or the kids, it'll be different. Oh, you're talking about that? You're talking about that. I thought you meant my live. Never mind. We're talking about school. I get it. I get it. I was just saying, I wish I could complain too, because then I could be a part of the discussion. But I guess I can complain. I know, Blob. I know, Blob. Blob, I'm gonna, oops, hold on. Hold on. Gotta load something real fast. Gotta load that. I've decided that My blob needs to be a mod. Not to actually do mod duties. Don't feel like you need to do any mod duties, but it's more of like an honorary thing that you need to have, because you're my favorite blob. And so, and then also now when you come and go, it'll show up right here that you've showed up. No, 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 no. No, no, no. How about this? How about this? I'll make you a mod and I'll take away a lot of the access parts. So you can't turn off comments, you can't mute people, you can't block people, and you can't pin comments. Actually, you know what? I'll give you the ability to pin comments because I think if I turn all of it off, there'll be no reason. But pinning comments is like nothing. You know what I mean? Like it'd be really hard for you to do that. And if you did ever accidentally do it, like it's easy for me to close it out and will never be that big of a deal. Okay? So now you have that logo right next to you that says you're a moderator, and watch, leave the live and then come back. And you could also do stuff like that, but I think you could do that anyway. But yeah, leave the live and come back. Actually, wait, I think it'll be after this thing shows up. It'll queue up to be after it. So when this goes away, if Blob does leave and come back, it'll show up there. So hold on. Wait just a second. Once this water thing goes away, it should queue up. Just waiting. There you go. You see? You see? Now everyone gets to see when my blob joins. Safety foods. Deli meats and cheeses are usually my go-tos. You know. Thanks, Panorama Sequence. Hopefully I said that right. But yeah, thank you. Safety foods are a huge thing. Yeah. Red Bull for breakfast. Iron Roll, thank you for the ice cream cone. Is Blob a mod? I want no listen. Okay, this is my room. I do what I want. But yes, Blob is a mod, but not for the duties, not for the responsibility of a mod. Although Blob is able to pin comments, Blob has to become an honorary mod. Needs to be one. Like, you know how like people will like be given like a degree by a university because of their accomplishments and stuff, right? Outside of it. So it's like, here's your honorary doctorate, right? I'm giving Blob an honorary mod because of just all that Blob does for my heart. And Blob doesn't want the overwhelming responsibilities that come with moderation. And so I, to help Blob out, made it to where Blob can only pin comments, which is a very minor thing, but it allows Blob to be a mod. And then when Blob's a mod, they show up right here when they join. And Blob deserves that. So steak and chicken. Ooh, chicken tempura. Ooh. Do you like oh my gosh. Like steak and chicken. Oh my gosh. I need all that like right now. Did you say what too loud? We got it best. We get the credit and then they do the work. Yeah. That's what you got to do. You don't have to do a thing. That's what's great about just Honey Bay, you want to be a mod too? Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. But again, don't do anything. Don't do anything if you don't want to. And if you do want to, okay. You know. If the pressure of moderation overwhelms you, which I can understand, let me know and I can make it to where you are not able to do the things that would scare you. So, let's see. Do you want? I mean, it's up to you. Do you want the actual access, or do you want me to just like give you the ability to pin comments? Like, it's really up to you. I don't mind either way. If you're just say I'm cool with it, if you're okay with anything, and then I'll just give you the standard mod access. You cool with it? All right. All right. Giving you the standard mod access now. So now Honey Bay will also show up there. Not against anyone else who's not a mod. I'm not keeping track of who's mods and who's not. I'm just seeing logos and things. So if you're not like typing and I'm not like seeing, then that just means I don't see it. Okay, so I'm not playing favorites, any of that kind of stuff. But it does, of course, require me to like, you know, have a certain sense of trust because of how often people are here and how long and all that stuff. So eventually you will be too, you know, and so, yep. Yeah. Tim be like, I like you, have a cupcake. I like you, have a cupcake. Now listen, I'm not making everyone mod. Okay, there's a few people in here who are not mods. Unfortunately, the majority of the people that are in here are mods right now. But Bean Fergie's in here, and they're not a mod. Alicia's in here. You know, she's not a mod. But that doesn't mean never will be given the opportunity. It just means they're not a mod right now. But that doesn't mean anything. Can't make everyone a mod because then everyone would just mute each other. But yeah. And then the mods get to do stuff like that too. So that's kind of the reason why it's like I gotta give a little bit of trust, or have a little bit of trust, because otherwise it'll just be drink water all the time. And it's compulsive. Anyway, I do have to go. Thank you everyone for joining. The kids have to get off their devices in 4 minutes, so I should get off my device now. Water is good for you, absolutely. So is Red Bull. Thank you everyone for joining. I may be back in a little bit, depending on how things go this morning. But I don't have anything really going on, so that's why I'm gonna set up the sauna maybe. Show them your notes. Yes, kids, I figured out the solution to life. I got all the notes. Okay, I may post that onto the story. Okay, so I may post a TikTok story with the helpful advice that I received during today's live. So look out for that. But anyways, I go live 6 a.m. every day. Thank you everyone so much for joining. I did go live at 6:03 today, and Joso, I'm so sorry that I was late. I have a Discord. I'll miss you guys too. I have a Discord if you guys want to join. The link's in my bio. Thank you for the heart puff. Truly. I appreciate like all you guys, like seriously. I know that like this live was kind of a little weird just because of the sarcasm and all that stuff, but you know, you guys know that like I truly do love and care about you guys and everyone really that comes in here. You know, I appreciate you guys making this a safe space and allowing this to be a safe space for others as well. You know, even when we were doing all that sarcastic stuff, and then then there was real genuine stuff in here, it was just a quick shift straight back to what we normally do, which is support each other. And I love that we're able to joke around and have fun and laugh at the, you know, the silly things that we have to deal with, and at the same time be there for each other, you know, at a moment's notice. And that's what I love about all of you. That's what I love about this community overall. Just a lot of heart and a lot of fun. But yeah, so can't afford to go private, and the NHS in the UK is broken. Yeah, seriously. Tudor, I hear that a lot. There's a few people in here that are familiar with the UK system and everything. You know, and so if you want, you could join my Discord, and they are, you know, they'll be there as well, and you could ask questions too. I'm not going to be late because since I'm not going to IOP, I don't actually have to get dressed. I just got to take my kids to school, so it'll be
easier for me. But to think I didn't click on B's live that random evening, I wouldn't be here today. Blob, I am so glad that you did. And to be honest with you, do you guys know how I got into B's live? Like, or how I found B's live? Like, I was on my last day of IOP the first time. I posted a video on TikTok about it being my last day. And I know I'm ADHDing this right now, and I gotta go. But it was my last day. I talked about DBT and how like it really impacted me. And I posted that video, went into the program, came out, and because I mentioned DBT, I was now in an algorithm. And I went to check my comments, and the first thing that popped up was Bianca's live, and I was like, oh, you know, and I saw the ADHD, like the thing that she said about having ADHD. I'm like, oh, okay. And so then I watched it for a second, and then she mentioned dialectical behavioral therapy, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's the thing that's helping me with all my stuff right now. And so then I just like I watched, but then when I got home, that's when stuff started falling apart with my wife and I. And basically it was decided that we were going to get a divorce. And so I wasn't able to follow. I couldn't find her for like, I don't know, like a month. And, but the thing was, is like, also a lot of I was going through a lot of stuff. So I kind of just like put that stuff aside. And then randomly found her again, quick follow, and just joined ever since, because it was always like my moment in the day where I could like reset and feel calm and feel like I was kind of back in like a group therapy setting, you know? And it just provided me a lot of support and comfort when I needed it. So yeah. Yeah. You can hear the alarm. I just wanted to share that part with you guys. It was ridiculous, but then like I said, I being able to then connect with all of you since then, or a lot of you since then, you know, has really helped me out a lot. It was an uneven number of shares. Well, I appreciate that. I was keeping my head above water until oh my goodness. So I was keeping my head above water until I hit burnout, and that destroyed my coping mechanisms because my executive function just gone. Not even dysfunctional, just gone. But anyways, I gotta go. Love all of you. Link in profile for Discord. Go live 6 a.m. ish Pacific time every day, maybe on later. Take care, everyone. I will see you all later. I will say hi to the kids for all of you, because they know that you guys are a big part of my life. So take care. I will see you all soon. Have a good day, and peace out. Bye. Oops. Almost forgot about YouTube.